According to what Jonathan Roumie himself has revealed, Season 6 of The Chosen will be the hardest season to watch so far, and after seeing this trailer, it's impossible to disagree. Every frame carries a weight that sits in your chest and refuses to leave. This season is no longer about miracles, crowds, or hope rising. It's about sacrifice. It's about silence. And it's about a journey that everyone knows is coming, yet no one is truly ready to witness. The trailer makes one thing very clear. This season will not hold back. It begins at a point where comfort is already gone. The tension doesn't slowly build, it's already there, pressing down from the first moment. You can feel that the story has crossed a line, moving into a chapter that changes everything forever. What makes this trailer especially brutal is not graphic imagery, but emotional truth. Jonathan Roumie's portrayal of Jesus feels quieter than ever, yet somehow louder in meaning. His eyes carry exhaustion, sorrow, and acceptance all at once. Without dramatic words, you understand that Jesus knows exactly what is coming. The trailer leans heavily into this internal struggle. There is fear, not the fear of pain, but the weight of what must be endured for others. It reminds us that this story is not about escape, but about obedience, about walking forward even when every step leads closer to suffering. The atmosphere of the trailer feels darker, slower, and more suffocating. The world around Jesus seems to close in. The disciples are no longer confident or hopeful. They look confused, scared, and powerless. You can sense their desperation, their silent question hanging in the air. How did we get here? This emotional shift is what makes the trailer so shocking. For seasons, we watched faith grow. Now, we are watching it being tested in the cruelest way possible. The smiles are gone. The warmth is gone. What remains is raw humanity. One of the most haunting elements of the trailer is its use of silence. There are moments where nothing is said, yet everything is understood. Silence becomes louder than dialogue. It reflects the loneliness of Jesus in this final stretch of his journey. Even when surrounded by people, he feels completely alone. This is where the trailer truly becomes brutal. It doesn't rush. It forces you to sit with the discomfort, to feel the pain instead of looking away. And that's exactly why it hits so hard. The trailer also makes it clear that Season 6 will focus deeply on the emotional and spiritual cost of what is about to happen. This is not a season designed to entertain casually. It's designed to confront the viewer. It asks you to watch, to feel, and to reflect. Jonathan Roumie has always brought depth to this role. But here, his performance feels almost unbearable in its honesty. Every expression, every pause feels intentional. You can tell that this season demanded more from him than any before, not just as an actor, but as a person. By the end of the trailer, one thing is certain. The Chosen is no longer preparing us for what's coming. It's telling us that the moment has arrived. The suffering can no longer be delayed. The road to the cross is no longer distant, and the reason fans are calling this trailer brutal isn't because it shocks the eyes, but because it breaks the heart. This is the beginning of the most painful chapter in the series, and once it starts, there is no turning. As the weight of the trailer continues to sink in, it becomes clear that Season 6 of The Chosen is not simply retelling a familiar story, but re-examining it in the most human and painful way possible. This season strips away every layer of comfort and leaves only truth behind. What makes it so intense is how deeply it focuses on the inner world of Jesus and those around him. The trailer shows us that this is the moment where faith is no longer inspiring, but terrifying. The disciples are no longer learning how to follow. They are learning how to survive the fear of losing everything they believe in. Their faces tell a story of panic, confusion, and regret, as if they are realizing too late that following Jesus was never meant to be safe. Jonathan Roumie's performance in the trailer feels almost unbearably real. There is a visible shift in his presence. Earlier seasons showed Jesus with warmth, confidence, and authority. But here, his strength is shown through restraint, through silence, through endurance. You can feel the emotional exhaustion in his posture, the sorrow in his eyes, and the acceptance written across his face. This is not a man unaware of his fate. This is someone who understands it completely and still chooses to walk forward. And that choice is what makes this season feel more brutal than ever before. The trailer heavily emphasizes isolation. Jesus is surrounded by people, yet completely alone. The ones who once stood beside him now hesitate. Some are afraid, some are angry. Some don't understand why he isn't fighting back. And this misunderstanding creates an emotional distance that hurts more than any physical pain. The trailer doesn't need words to explain this. You can see it in the way people look at him. Unsure, desperate, and broken. This emotional fracture is one of the most heartbreaking elements teased in Season 6. Another powerful aspect of the trailer is how it portrays authority and injustice. There is a growing sense that decisions are being made long before questions are asked. Truth no longer matters. Guilt is assumed. The system feels cold, rigid, and unstoppable. The trailer makes you feel the frustration of watching something wrong unfold while knowing there is nothing you can do to stop it. And that helplessness is intentional. It places the viewer in the same emotional position as the disciples, forcing us to feel what they feel rather than just observe what happens. What truly separates this season from the others is its pacing. Everything feels slower, heavier, more deliberate. The trailer refuses to rush through moments of pain. It lingers, allowing discomfort to settle in. This makes every second feel meaningful, but also exhausting in the most emotional sense. It's the kind of trailer that leaves you silent after it ends, not because you're confused, but because you need time to breathe. That reaction alone says everything about what Season 6 is about to deliver. There is also a deep sense of inevitability woven throughout the trailer. Even without explicit moments, you feel the approaching end like a shadow that grows larger with every step. Jesus' calm acceptance contrasts painfully with the chaos around him. While others panic and protest, he remains steady, fully aware that this suffering has a purpose. This contrast makes the experience even more devastating. It's not chaos versus peace. It's peace walking willingly into chaos. By the time the trailer reaches its final moments, it's clear that Season 6 will demand something from its audience. This is not a season you casually watch in the background. It requires attention, emotional openness, and readiness to feel uncomfortable. The brutality of this trailer lies in its honesty. It doesn't soften the story. It doesn't offer reassurance. Instead, it prepares us for a season that will challenge faith, test endurance, and leave a lasting emotional impact long after the final scene fades to black. According to what Jonathan Roumie himself has revealed, Season 6 of The Chosen will be the hardest season to watch so far, and after seeing this trailer, it's impossible to disagree. Every frame carries a weight that sits in your chest and refuses to leave. This season is no longer about miracles, crowds, or hope rising. It's about sacrifice. It's about silence. And it's about a journey that everyone knows is coming, yet no one is truly ready to witness. The trailer makes one thing very clear. This season will not hold back. It begins at a point where comfort is already gone. The tension doesn't slowly build. It's already there, pressing down from the first moment. You can feel that the story has crossed a line, moving into a chapter that changes everything forever. What makes this trailer especially brutal is not graphic imagery, but emotional truth. Jonathan Roumie's portrayal of Jesus feels quieter than ever, yet somehow louder in meaning. His eyes carry exhaustion